immediate emotions, reflections after that?
Yeah, obviously disappointed with the result. Goes without saying, I suppose. We worked really hard in the last years to, to get this right. We set ourselves up for a good running, and but there's still work to be done. And I thought I'll take my hat off to Toulon tonight. Or this afternoon. The physicality was way better than we expected from the preparation what we've done on them, and they obviously had a big emphasis on that part of it, which we're proud of because we'd like to challenge the teams physically, and I thought they brought it from a set piece perspective, and then definitely on the defense side of things. So well done to them. I hope they progress further because I thought them, they've showed some good endeavour coming, from being basically underdogs coming here. But yes, and then obviously we were a little bit inaccurate, especially in the beginning of the games. There's 4 or 5 opportunities that we've missed from one pass or just one ball being passed behind the back. So that's the one thing from finals rugby is that there's not necessarily another chance. Where in the round robin we often create more than one chance, and we take the next one if it's not this one. So yes, a little bit of clinical. We weren't as clinical as you should be in a final, and I think that's the only negative around this. Is we shouldn't have been. We could have been more clinical.
It was a spell when they were down to 14 men at the end of the first half. Was that kind of when they scored? Was that kind of where the game got away from you?
I don't think so. I think we could have scored before halftime, and the game could have been good again. There's moments. So no, I don't think one specific thing happened. I think it was a accumulation of 1 or 2 errors. They're a quality side. I mean, they were going to score a try or some tries. We didn't want them to allow them, but yes, it happened. So I don't think that was that specific moment. No, there was more other opportunities after that to get back in the game.
They were very effective at stopping your maul today, weren't they? I mean, was that just credit to them, or could you have executed better in those moments?
Even if we've been getting it right for 4 years, they did it well today. I mean, it's happened once or twice. We still ended up scoring 1 or 2 of the plays and changing the picture up a little bit. But yeah, you must always give credit where credit's due. I think we are good at what we do there. We work hard at it, and especially at home, and compliments to the way they've gone about their business.
The fact you were favourites against a team that's won it 3 times says a lot about how far this Glasgow team's come under you, but does it feel a bit like a missed opportunity because of the pool stage record, the 4 wins, having the home advantage?
I would agree on that, but the expectation that's grown, we created, as a team. So I'm very proud of that. I said it to the boys in the changing room there. We created the expectation. People think that we can win this competition, and that is a big mind shift. Maybe that is the motivation we take from this. Is to believe we can make that next step. I'm not saying we didn't show that today, but the fact that we played at home and everybody's coming out here and everybody's excited about that little expectation that comes into the change room. You'll see that in the first 5 or 10 minutes, little knock-ons or little things that goes wrong, and we must learn to deal with that as a club. I think it's an international like environment, but as a club, I think Ben Afshar, Jare, and even Alex Samuels is on his road to become an international, and Dan Lancaster, and these kind of players all learned a huge amount of what's happened out there today.
Right, you're going to lose so many big players in the summer. This felt like maybe your best opportunity. How hard would it be to do it in future years?
We lost big players before, so I've been working in environments where we lost big players. I don't think that's the end of it. I think obviously Jack and you and Johnny and who else? Adam. They've contributed massively. But the next guy, the understudies is out there. The next guys are there to take over the baton. I'm absolutely not concerned. This is a solid club. We believe in significance, not in success. We will continue to produce regardless of some of the results. So who comes and goes are on the ship or on the train for a short part, but the train's not going to stop, it's going to keep going.
Would you accept you need more experience to help these younger ones coming through?
No, yeah, I hope we can sign one or two more senior players that maybe I'll get onto Craig's department. But it will be good to, I'm happy. I'm very proud of these men. I know there's some excellent experience, unbelievable talent, and a great mentality, and a really fantastic culture in the club. And that demands excellence from everybody that comes in the club and that's currently there. I'm sure that will keep that fueling the train on its tracks.
Michael, can I just ask what you made of Ben and Dan and the reason for the change at half time?
Look, some would say I can see in a crystal ball the amount of times he came back on, so no, I wanted to just change the picture up a little bit. They've got two different skill sets, and it was not the fact that Dan did anything wrong. You could see up till the end he's a really good rugby player. I just wanted to change things up a little bit and give Adam fresh legs. He didn't play the week before. Just didn't start. So there's some ingredients that I cannot always explain here that changes the dial for us. And I just wanted that energy. Little energy is like putting more players in the line out. That just for a moment changes the picture, and then we were back on track. So I thought Adam was that one that he held that card for us. Yeah.
What was the situation with Adam at the end? Because was it a HIA? Because it seemed to be very quick that the decision he wasn't coming back.
Yeah, it was HIA. He must have been dazed. I just briefly spoke to the physios there, and it seems like on field he looked a little bit dazed. So that was a red call before he reached the end of the playing field. So yeah, so that is this HIA. We will follow the process now, but you probably won't tour.
I know it's an on-field decision, but when you're kind of building momentum at the end there and you're getting closer to their line, was there a temptation to go for a drop goal at any point to bring it level?
No, I would rather would have preferred a penalty and then make the decision. There wasn't. We weren't close enough. I mean, to put it onto one guy, drop it or miss it, and we all expectation goes out the door through a try. I can still not know why they call a try. But anyway, the biggest thing is that if somebody tried to drop a goal and we don't get it, then it's all on one player missing it. So yes, we were building phases there. Maybe a penalty and then a decision after that to go into extra time would have been made, but unfortunately it didn't work that way.
I could just go back to the injuries. Sione looked like he was struggling towards the end, and just wonder why he took Jack by himself as well. Is he okay?
No, it's all just intense intensity that we needed, and I wanted to have some fresh legs. Darch won't tour with us because his wife's expecting his partner is expecting the first one, so I didn't mind leaving him out there a little bit longer. So it was just to find different ways to bring some energy. We still had the extra time in the back of our minds. To have fresh legs and extra time, I've learned helps a lot. So very important for us not to make too many changes too early, because in the extra time obviously you can't. The rule stays the same. So to have had Mackenzie Duncan, and maybe that's why. Jack, I knew always Jack was going to be there. If we go to extra time, that's when the energy going to come from the scrum off. So I wanted to hold them back so that we can still have that in case we go to 10 minutes extra time. So unfortunately it didn't happen. So there was a bit of a plan behind the changes.
You're a man with a plan for every eventuality. Now, you don't have a semi-final. Does that change anything in terms of your plan for South Africa and who doesn't go? And
not much. No. I've always planned. I tried to learn a little bit from what happened for years with other teams in the competition who's competed in Tour de France, and I've had a specific strategy now. I think we should go into the next 2 weeks. We're not going to veer much off of that. The benefit is that we'll have a weekend off when we come back. So that's not what we wanted, but now we have that. So we will manage the boys properly in the next 2 weeks. To achieve another objective.
Kyle, how do you pick up the boys? Because it must be